Good day, everyone, classmates. This is my report as a requirement for subject ENM 233, Total Quality Management, under subject Professor Ryan Jan De Lara, ECE PhD. The topic is about the title Change Management. By the way, I am Jan Simon A. Noveras III, currently residing in Aurora and an engineer to DPWH Aurora Engineering District. With this, I will now start my report. Kaizen. Let us define the word Kaizen. The Japanese concept of continuous improvement. Today better than yesterday and tomorrow better than today. Here is my topic outline for this. Number 1, we will define change and change management. Next is importance, benefits, challenges of change management. Change management for project management. Types of change, practice models, and change management softwares. Let us now define change management. Change management is a systematic approach to dealing with the transition or transformation of an organization's goal, processes, or technologies. The purpose of change management is to implement strategies for effecting change, controlling change, and helping people to adapt change. What are the major changes in your organization? Will you give examples that has changed, affected your organization? Please leave a comment on what are the major organizational changes that has happened in your organization. Next, change management refers to the task of managing change. And managing change refers to the making of changes in a planned and managed systematic function. How do we make changes? First, we have to make a change management plan. This checklist can be used to create a simple change management plan. To be effective, change management strategy must take into consideration how an adjustment or replacement will impact processes, systems, and employees within the organization. There must be a process for planning and testing change, communicating change, scheduling and implementing change, documenting change, and evaluating its effects. Documentation is a critical component of change management, not only to maintain an audit trail should a rollback become necessary, but also to ensure compliance with internal and external controls, including regulatory compliance. In this figure, we will see the change management processes of an organization. This is only an example process for an organization. First, they have to initiate change requests, then reviews must be done. Next is planning on how to implement the change, and next is implementation of the changes, and review and evaluate the effectiveness of changes, and if it is successful, they will sustain the changes made. The next is an example of change management showing tasks and duration of the change transition. It is similar to Gantt chart of project implementation. These are more examples of change management plans. Next, what are the importances and effects of change management? As a conceptual business framework for people, processes, and the organization, change management increases the success of critical projects and improve a company's ability to adapt quickly. Business change is constant and inevitable, and when poorly managed, it has the potential to cause organizational stress as well as unnecessary and costly rework. By standardizing the consistency and efficiency of assigned work, change management assures that the side of the organization is not overlooked. As changes to work occur, change management helps employees understand their new roles and build a more process-driven culture. Change management also encourages the future company's growth by enabling it to remain dynamic in the marketplace. As laid out in the other sections of this definition, taking a structured approach to change management helps organization mitigate disruption, reduce cost, reduce time to implementation, and improve leadership skills, drive innovation, and improve morale. In addition, here are some ways that change management has helped the organization. First is it increases the success of critical projects and improves companies' ability to adapt quickly. Next is by standardizing the consistency and efficiency of assigned work, change management assures that the people outside of the organization is not overlooked. As changes to work occur, change management helps employees understand their new roles and build more process-driven culture. So these are the benefits of change management. Number one, it improves documentation of enterprise systems. Greater alignment between suggested and what gets implemented. Better starting point for automation initiatives. Understanding of why systems were made. And ability to reverse engineer changes made to existing business processes and infrastructure. And better ability to identify what can be safely eliminated or updated. If there are benefits, there are also challenges to change management. Companies developing a change management program from the ground up often face daunting challenges. In addition, a thorough understanding of company culture, the change management processes require an accurate accounting of the systems, applications, and employees to be affected by a change. Additional change management challenges includes resource management, managing the physical, financial, human, informational, and intangible assets and resources that contribute to an organization's strategic plan becomes increasingly difficult when implementing change. Number two is resistance. The executives and employees who are affected by change may resist it. Since change may result in unwanted extra work, ongoing resistance is common. Transparency, training, and planning and patience can help quell resistance and improve overall morale. Next is communication. Companies often fall to consistently communicate change initiatives or include employees in the process. Change-related communication requires an adequate number of messages. The involvement of enough stakeholders to get the message out out, and multiple communication channels. Next is new technology. The application of new technologies can disrupt an employee's entire workflow. Companies can improve adoption of new technology by creating a network of early learners who champion the new technology to colleagues. Last is multiple points of view. In any change initiative, success factors differ for people based on their roles in the organization and incentives. Managing these various priorities is challenging. Scheduling issues, deciding whether a change program will be long or short term, and defining milestone deadlines are complicated. Some organizations believe that the shorter change program are most effective. Others believe more gradual approach to change, resistance, and errors. Of course, resistance to change. Change disturbs existing equilibrium, existing procedures, power structures within the organization, which may not be liked by many persons. So resistance can be, number one, resistance to change could be overt or immediate, implicit or deferred resistance. And number two, resistance to change can come from employees as well as employers or management. Number three, resistance to change can occur at any level. For example, individual level, group level, or organizational levels. How do we overcome resistance to change? Uh, these are examples to overcoming resistance to change. One is education and communication. Next is negotiation, participation and involvement, manipulation and cooptation, facilitation and support, and coercion. This will overcome resistance to change. Principles, principles of change management. Three principles of change management build on three stages of change management, introduced by Kurt Lewin in his seminal book, Principles of Topological Psychology. The first one is the unfreeze the current state. The change agents need to identify what precisely they want to change. At this stage, they need to formulate a why that other participants are likely to buy into. In essence, they need to reverse engineer the future state and translate this benefit to other possible participants. Then they need to enroll people who can participate in the new idea. This could include executive sponsorship for big change or co-workers for departmental change. Next is change the system. At this stage, change agents and any collaborators can begin to put the change into practice. The change agents need to work with collaborators to communicate the idea and bring other participants on board. It is important to pay attention to any pushbacks and find areas of shared understanding to either help move the change forward or shift its implementation in response to feedback. Tensions might be high as everyone gets used to the new system. It is important to, to be respectful of their feelings and ideas. Last is reprise. Eventually, people get used to the new system or they revert back to what was working before. At this stage, it is important to declare that the change is over, whether the change was accepted or rejected. Even if the change was rejected, declaring it over gives everyone the chance to relax. It also helps at this stage to document what has happened for future references. How does change management work? To understand how change management works, it helps to apply concepts and tools to specific areas of business. Below are examples of how change management works for project management. Change management plays an important role in project management because each change request must be evaluated for its impact on the project. Project managers or senior executives in charge of change control must examine how a change in one area of the project could affect the other areas and what impact that change could have been on the project as a whole. Project areas that change control experts should pay particular attention to includes the following. Number one is scope. Change requests must be evaluated to determine how they will be affected the project scope. Schedule. Change requests must be assessed to determine how they will alter the project schedule. Next is cost. Change requests must be evaluated to determine how they will affect project cost. Labor is typically the largest expense on the project, so overages on completing project tasks can quickly drive changes to the project cost. Quality. Change requests must be evaluated to determine how they will affect the quality of the completed project. An acceleration of the project schedule, in particular, can affect quality as defects can occur if work is rushed. Human resources. Change requests must be evaluated to determine if additional or specialized labor is required. When the project schedule changes, the project manager may lose key resource to other assignments. 5 is communications. Approved change requests must be communicated to the appropriate stakeholders at the appropriate time. Risk. Change requests must be evaluated to determine what risk they pose. Even minor changes can have a domino effect on the project and introduce logistical, financial, or security risk. Last is procurement. Changes of the project may affect procurement of materials and contract labor. When an incremental change has been approved, the project manager documents the change in one of 4 standard change control systems to ensure all thoughts, insights have been captured with the change request. Changes that are not entered through a control system are labeled defects. When a change request is declined, this is also documented and kept as a part of the project archives. Change management comprises of 6 main activities. Number 1 is identify potential change. 2 is assess. 3, plan change. Next is implement the change. Review and close change. Types of organizational change. Change management can be used to manage many types of organizational changes. The most common types are the following: developmental change, transitional change, and transformational change. Developmental change: any organization change that improves on previously established the processes and procedures. Transitional change: change that moves an organization away from its current state to a new state to solve a problem, such as implementing a merger and acquisition or automating a task or a process. Last is transformational change, change that radically and fundamentally alters the culture and operation of an organization. In transformational change, the result may not be unknown. For example, a company may pursue entirely different products or markets. These are the best practice models, can provide guiding principles and help managers align the scope of proposed changes with available digital and non-digital tools. Popular models include the following. So these are some popular models. We will enumerate them and define them later on. So now, first is ADKAR, then Bridges Transition Model, IT Infrastructure Library or ITIL, Author's 8-step processes for leading change, Lewin's Change Management Model, and McKinsey 7-S. First on the list is ADKAR, created by ProSci founder Jeff Hyatt, consists of 5 sequential steps. So ADKAR stands for letter A, awareness of the need for change. Letter D, desire to participate and support the change. Letter K, or knowledge on how to change. Next, letter A is ability to implement desired skills and behaviors. And last R is reinforcement to sustain the change. So to further understand the ADKAR model, these are the graphical model for this. So you will see at the bottom is awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement. So on the right is business need, conceptual design, implementation, and post-implementation. So awareness of the need for change. So management, communication, customer input, marketplace changes, and ready access to information. Thirdly, desire to participate and support the change. So they would have fear of job loss, discontent with the current state, imminent negative consequences. And next, letter K is knowledge on how to change, training and education, information access, examples, and role models. Letter A, ability to implement required skills and behavior, practice applying new skills or using new processes and tools, coaching, mentoring, and removal of barriers. Thus is R, its reinforcement to sustain change. Incentives and rewards, compensation, changes, celebrations, and personal recognition. Next model is the Bridges Transition Model. Change consultant William Bridges' model focuses on how people adjust to change. The model features 3 stages: a stage of letting go, a stage of uncertainty and confusion, and a stage of acceptance. Bridges' models is sometimes compared to the Kubler-Ross 5 stages of grief, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. So this is the bridge transition model. So the beginning there is uncertainty and skepticism, and when there is change, there will be a new beginning of commitment. IT Infrastructure Library or ITIL. The ITIL frameworks offers detailed guidance for managing change in IT operations and infrastructure. It is owned by Axelos, a joint venture between Capita and UK Cabinet. Kotter's 8 processes for leading change. Harvard University Professor John Kotter's model has 8 steps. One is create a sense of urgency. build a guiding coalition, form a strategic vision and initiatives, and enlist a volunteer army, enable action by removing barriers, generate short-term wins, sustain acceleration, and institute change. McKinsey 7-S. Business consultants Robert H. Waterman and Tom Peters designed a model to look holistically at 7 factors that affect change. So these are shared values, strategy, structure, system, style, staff, and skills. So these are some popular management software application, including the following: Change Gears or Service Aid, Change Scout, eChange Manager or Giva, Press Service Pressworks, Remedy Change Management 9, BMC software. So Change Gear Service Aid is a change management support for DevOps and ETL automation as well as business roles. Change Count is cloud-based organizational change management application for evaluating C changes as well as incremental changes. eChanger Manager, a cloud-based standalone IT change management application. Press Service, an online ETL change management solution featuring workflow customizations, capabilities, and gamification. Remedy Change Management 9, assistance for managers with planning, tracking, and delivering successful changes that are compliant with ETL and control objectives for information-related technologies or COVID. Summary and highlights. So, we may say that change is constant. When the rate of change outside exceeds the rate of change inside, the end is inside. And a leader can play both positive and negative role in change management. This is the end of my report. Thank you.